Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend? I'll keep honoring my late best friend's last request, even if it bothers her. Growing up, my childhood best friend Emily and I were inseparable. We lived next door, went to the same schools, and spent nearly every day together. In high school, we made a silly joke about getting married before everyone else. I gave her a paper ring, and she gave me one of her hair ties as our wedding gift. A few weeks later, tragedy struck. Emily was hit by a drunk driver. She spent months in the ICU, and her chances of survival were slim. In one of our last conversations, she asked me to do one thing every year on our anniversary: visit her and wear that hair tie. She passed away not long after. Fast forward 10 years, I've been with my girlfriend for 4 of them. From the start, I told her about Emily and the tradition. She said it was sweet. But this year, on the 10th anniversary, everything blew up. Before work, she told me it was pathetic that I still wore a dead girl scrunchie to honor a fake marriage from high school. I was furious. Emily wasn't just some girl. She was my best friend, almost like a sister. Our wedding was never romantic. It was a childhood joke that became her dying wish. I don't keep pictures of her around. I don't constantly talk about her. I just honor that one day. I told my girlfriend I wasn't going to stop, even if it made her uncomfortable. She left upset and didn't come home that night. Community reactions. Amandam Knight, not the a-hole. If she was fine with it 4 years, but suddenly lashes out, there's probably something deeper going on. Temperance 26,684. After 4 years, maybe she's frustrated that you keep honoring a symbolic marriage without giving her a real one. Weakness 39869. Even if that's true, it doesn't excuse her behavior. She's an adult. She needs to use her words instead of lashing out. Imaginarioli, not the a-hole. Your girlfriend acted like an absolute a-hole. Don't feel guilty about keeping your promise. If she can't accept it, that's her issue. One commenter speculated, maybe she wants marriage herself and resents the tradition. Another quickly shot back, even if that's the route, it doesn't excuse what she said. Update. When I got home Tuesday, my girlfriend was sitting on the couch. She looked like she'd been crying 4 hours. The second she saw me, she broke down again. Through tears, she apologized over and over. She admitted she hadn't been able to sleep since the fight, and she felt like garbage for disrespecting Emily and for hurting me. She said she thought the tradition was sweet at first, but also assumed I'd eventually stop after a few years. She swore she'd never seen herself as jealous or controlling, but the way she reacted proved otherwise. She told me I didn't deserve a girlfriend who took years of kindness and love and repaid it by being petty and cruel. She even said she'd understand if I left, but begged me to forgive her because she couldn't forgive herself if I walked away. It was a lot to take in. I told her forgiveness isn't instant. It's a process, but I could see her apology was sincere. I made it clear that having jealous feelings doesn't make her a bad person, but the way she acted on them was unfair and hurtful. Still, I accepted her apology. I reminded her that I meant what I said before. I want a future with her, and this challenge is just another thing we'll get through together. She told me I was the love of her life, and that she couldn't believe she almost destroyed everything over jealousy. She made me promise to never feel guilty about honoring Emily's memory. We talked, hugged for a long time, and eventually fell asleep on the couch. Community reactions to the update. Fit_bear. This was heartwarming. Glad you worked through it. Wishing you both the best. Solid_quote 9133. So nice to read this. I'm happy it turned out well. Omon_did_w. I teared up reading both your post and this update. You're handling this with so much maturity. Some noted how ATA reactions can feel biased. If roles were reversed, the top comment might have been, red flag, your boyfriend is jealous and controlling. But because I'm a guy, it leaned more toward, not the a-hole. But maybe you're actually the problem. At the end of the day, I'm just grateful my girlfriend was honest. Forgiveness will take time, but as long as we stay open, we'll move forward. Grief doesn't disappear, it ebbs and flows, but Emily mattered to me. That's something my partner and I both need to acknowledge without fear or resentment. Patience with each other is the key. Am I the a-hole for ditching my buddy and his crew in a strange town? So here's the backstory. My friend Jake recently got really into these mud run obstacle races. He and a couple of his gym friends started going to local ones, but then they found out about a big one a few states away. The issue? They had no place to stay. They asked if they could borrow my SUV and my camper for the weekend. I wasn't comfortable just handing over my stuff, but I told them I'd drive us all there and set everything up. It was about a 4-hour drive, but we made it. Now, I usually keep my keys on a hook by the door inside my V bedroom. Important detail. Later that night, I went outside to take a call and walk around. When I came back, the door was locked. Jake's older buddy looked out the window and flat out told me there wasn't room for me in my own RV. I went to grab my keys, but realized they were still hanging inside on that hook. I called Jake, and all he said was, "Sorry, man, nothing I can do." So yeah, I had to crash in my SUV that night. Luckily, it was unlocked. Next morning, the race kicked off at 8. At 7, they all came strolling out like nothing had happened, still no apology. While they were out competing, I hitched the camper back up to my SUV, packed everything, and waited. As soon as I saw them walking across the field afterward, I started the engine and drove off, while they chased behind me. Another 4 hours later, I was home. I ignored their calls the whole way. When I finally picked up, Jake was furious, said I'd abandoned them with no way back. I told him he shouldn't have made me sleep in my car after I went out of my way for them. He argued I could have handled it differently, and now I'm second guessing myself. Am I the a-hole? Top responses from the community. Not the a-hole. They're mud runners, let him jog home. You should have just hit him back with "Sorry man, nothing I can do." Sure, you could have taken the high road, but after they disrespected you like that, no, they got what they deserved. They really thought they could lock you out of your own RV, and you'd just drive them home. Wild. So what do you think was up, justified or too harsh? Am I the a-hole for striking poses while my neighbor kept filming me? After my dad passed away, he left me 26M and my sister 31F his old house. The place was pretty run down, so I've been putting in hours of yard work every morning and evening. Every single time I go outside to water the grass, the woman next door, a grumpy older neighbor named Mrs. Clark, comes out onto her porch and just stares at me. At first, I tried to be polite. I introduced myself, explained we were the new owners, and mentioned my dad had passed. She clearly wasn't interested in talking, but then she started taking it further, standing there with her phone pointed right at me, recording. I asked her why, and she shrugged and said, "No problem, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to." When I pushed back, she told me, "If you're not doing anything wrong, then what's the issue?" Honestly, it was super creepy. This became a daily thing. Finally, yesterday, I'd had enough. As soon as she came out with her phone, I decided to flip the script. I stuck my hip out, gave her a cheesy hand-on-hip pose, and looked straight at her. When she didn't flinch, I took it further, sprayed myself with the hose, ran my hand along my neck, full-on model mode. Her reaction: she flipped out, yelled at me for being a pervert, stormed back inside, and later came to the house while I was at work to complain to my sister. She accused me of sexually harassing her with my poses. My sister just rolled her eyes. She knows Mrs. Clark has way too much time on her hands. Still, I wonder, did I stoop to her level? I mean, I wasn't grabbing myself or doing anything explicit, just being goofy. But maybe making her uncomfortable wasn't the right way to handle it. Community reactions. Ataby 1 to 3. Not the a-hole. Honestly, this is hilarious. She had it coming. Annie Skicks. That neighbor sucks. Hope she finally minds her own. Not the a-hole. Blue-eyed lemon. Call her the creep for filming you. You're not the problem here. Slab Eve Punch. Next time, record her right back. Don't say a word, just flip the camera. I made sure to introduce myself and my sister to the neighbor when we first moved in, just so she knew we weren't random strangers squatting in the house. Commenter Slab Eve Punch chimed in, "Next time, just grab your phone and film her right back. Don't even say anything, just point the camera." Another user, Vissa Hopster 3, added, "Not the a-hole. Though I wonder, are you in an HOA neighborhood and she's just trying to stir up trouble?" Op responded, "Thankfully no HOA. If there was, we would have sold this place immediately. I've read the horror stories and wouldn't want to get stuck in that mess." Most people agreed the neighbor's behavior was just a power play, her trying to assert dominance by filming. By striking back with humor, Op flipped the script and made her look ridiculous. The consensus: she can't record him without consent. And by mocking her tactic, he actually took back control without needing police or legal drama. Advice leaned toward ignoring her from now on. Folks pointed out that people like this thrive on getting a reaction. If she doesn't get one, she likely lose interest.